Good morning to all. Welcome to my class. And thyroid gland, clinically and anatomically, it's a very important topic. If you really get benefited, subscribe this channel to prepare the more topics. The learning objectives of the today's topic, it includes capsule of the gland, relations of thyroid lobes and isthmus, blood supply of thyroid gland, nerve supply, and clinical aspects. Thyroid gland is the largest endocrine gland in the body. It secretes the triiodothyronine and thyroxine, that is T4, and calcitonin. It is a rich blood supply of the gland coming from the different arteries, and it is only the gland depends on the external environment for raw material. The function of the thyroid gland, it includes regulate the basal metabolic rate and calcium metabolism. It stimulates the somatic and psychic growth. The location of the gland is located in the lower part of the neck of the anterior and side of the neck. The gland extends vertically from the C5 to T1 vertebra. In between the two lobes is connected by the isthmus. It is lies against to the 2 to 4 tracheal rings. The gland is about 25 grams in weight. The length is 5 centimeter approximately, then width is 3 centimeter, and thickness is 2 centimeter. The gland is look like a H shape. Parts of the thyroid gland, we can see the two lobes, the right and left lobe, isthmus, pyramidal lobe, levator glandulae thyroidema, and here the two lobes connected by the isthmus. The superior border of the isthmus is consisting of the small pyramidal lobe. The fibromuscular band extends from the pyramidal lobe to the body of the head bone is called as a levator glandulae thyroidea. So in this flow chart, we can able to see the external features of the right and left lobe and isthmus. The each lobe is consisting of the apex, base, three surfaces, two borders, and isthmus is consisting of the two surfaces and two borders. The three surfaces are superficial, medial, posterolateral or posterior surfaces. The two borders are anterior and posterior border. And regarding the isthmus is concerned, anterior and posterior surface, two borders, superior and inferior borders. Capsule of the thyroid gland. The gland has an investment of two capsules, inner true capsule that will be adherent to the gland and outer false capsule that will be enclose the whole gland. The false capsule is derived from the pretracheal fascia. The false capsule along with the posterior border, it's a very thin and thick on the medial surface. Then it will be the thickened formation of the false capsule is connected with the cricoid cartilage in the form of one small ligament that is called as a suspensory ligament of thyroid gland or ligament of Berry. Relations of the apex and base. So apex is upwards laterally and base is downwards, lies with the 2 to 4 tracheal rings. And regarding the relations of the apex is concerned, it is lies between the inferior constrictor muscle and sternothyroid muscle. The apex is related with the one artery and one nerve, that is the superior thyroid artery and external laryngeal nerve, which is the branch of the superior laryngeal nerve. The apex extends up to the oblique line of the thyroid cartilage. The base is related with the inferior thyroid artery, which is arise from the thyrocervical trunk, and a recurrent laryngeal nerve, which is directly coming from the vagus nerve. The relations of the lateral or superficial surface, you can see that this image, the superficial surface is look like a convex and it is covered by the sternothyroid muscle, sternohyoid muscle, superior belly of the omohyoid muscle. The inferior lobe of the thyroid gland is enclosed by the sternal head of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Relations of the medial surface and posterior surface. The medial surface relations are two tubes, trachea and esophagus, two muscles, inferior constrictors muscle and cricothyroid muscle, two cartilages, cricoid cartilage and thyroid cartilage, and two nerves, external laryngeal nerve and recurrent laryngeal nerve. This will be closely associated with the medial surface, and posterior surface is concerned related with the common carotid artery, is enclosed by the carotid sheath, green in color, and parathyroid gland. Four parathyroid glands that will be associated with the two thyroid lobes. Relations of the lobes, and this table will give the first-hand information about the relations of the superficial, medial and posterior surfaces. Superficial surface related with the three staph muscles and sternocleidomastoid muscle is enclosed by the skin, superficial fascia and deep fascia. Medial surface related with the two tubes, two muscles, two cartilages and two nerves. Posterior surface that will be lies with the carotid sheath, common carotid artery, parathyroid gland and inferior thyroid artery before enter the gland. Relations of the thyroid lobes regarding the anterior border and posterior border. You can see these two image anterior view of the thyroid gland. There is the red color is indicate to the line is indicate to the anterior border. It will separates the medial surface and then superficial surface. The anterior border is associated with the anterior branch of the superior thyroid artery, and here isthmus is there, is consisting of the superior border, inferior border and posterior border of the thyroid lobe. It separates the medial surface and posterior lateral surface. It will be associated with the parathyroid gland. Are you identify these glands? These are very small glands which are seen in the posterior border, and this posterior border is related with the anastomosing branches of the posterior branches of the superior thyroid artery and branches of the inferior thyroid artery. You can see this image very clearly seen. Relations of the isthmus, two surfaces and two borders. The anterior surface of the isthmus is covered by the sternothyroid and sternohyoid muscle, an anterior jugular vein. Posterior surface is related with the 2 to 4 tracheal rings. The superior border of the isthmus is lies with the anterior branch of the superior thyroid artery and inferior border of the isthmus related with the inferior thyroid veins and rarely thyroidea artery, which is coming from the subclavian artery. Artery supply of the thyroid gland. You can see that superior thyroid artery, which is arise from the external carotid artery at the level of the greater corner of the iliac bone. The artery runs downwards, forward, and at the level of the apex of the gland, it divides into two divisions, anterior branch and posterior branch. The anterior branch is anastomosis in either side at the level of the superior border of the isthmus. The superior thyroid artery is closely associated with the external laryngeal nerve and the inferior lobe of the thyroid gland and inferior border of the isthmus is supplied by the inferior thyroid artery and very rarely thyroidema artery, which is coming from the subclavian artery, or sometimes it is arise from the arch of aorta. This inferior thyroid artery is arise from the thyrocervical trunk, and it is closely associated with the recurrent laryngeal nerve. The superior thyroid artery that will be supplied to the upper one third of the lobe and upper half of the isthmus, whereas the inferior thyroid artery is concerned that will be supplied to the lower two third of the lobes and half of the isthmus. You have to see very carefully the posterior branch of the superior thyroid artery and branches of the inferior thyroid artery that will be lies with the posterior view of the thyroid gland, venous drainage of the thyroid gland. You can see that superior thyroid vein. The vein is emerged at the upper part of the lobes and upper border of the isthmus. It ascends and then it will be drains into the internal jugular vein, and middle thyroid vein emerge at the middle part of the gland. Then it is a very short vein, enter into the internal jugular vein. The inferior thyroid veins, it form the plexus, it emerge at the lower border of the lobes and then inferior border of the isthmus. It descends, then it will be drains into the left brachiocephalic vein. Lymphatic drainage. The upper part of the gland and isthmus drains into the prelaryngeal nodes. These nodes are finally drains into the upper deep cervical nodes. The lower part of the gland and isthmus drains into the pretracheal nodes, and these nodes are drains into the lower deep cervical nodes. Nerve supply of the thyroid gland. Parasympathetic nerve supply passes through the vagus nerve and recurrent laryngeal nerve. The sympathetic nerve supply commonly coming from the superior cervical sympathetic ganglia, middle and inferior cervical sympathetic ganglia. Most of the fibers are coming from the middle cervical sympathetic ganglia. Goiter or enlargement of the thyroid gland. You can see that enlargement of the thyroid gland. It is commonly seen in the during the hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism. The hypothyroidism is characterized by the decreasing the secretion of T3 and T4 hormones by the influence of the thyroid stimulating hormones. It is closely associated with the Hashimoto disease. This hypothyroidism leads to the thyroid follicles damaged or block the thyroid stimulating receptors on the follicular cells. The hyperthyroidism is characterized by the excessive secretion of the T3 and T4 hormones. It is commonly seen in the Graves' disease. The antibodies stimulate the thyroid stimulating hormone by the influence of pituitary gland, and this gland is easily palpable and move upwards and swallowing because gland attached to the trachea. Thyroidectomy means removal of the thyroid gland. Either it will be partially or total removal of the thyroid gland. During the removal of the thyroid gland, the superior thyroid artery and inferior thyroid artery that should be ligated to avoid the injuries of the external laryngeal nerve and recurrent laryngeal nerve. You can see the image. The superior laryngeal nerve directly coming from the vagus nerve, which divides into two divisions, inferior laryngeal nerve and then external laryngeal nerve. The external laryngeal nerve is closely associated with the superior thyroid artery. The recurrent laryngeal nerve is correspondence with the inferior thyroid artery. So during the thyroidectomy, the superior and inferior thyroid arteries should be ligated as away from the two nerves to avoid the injuries. These are the wise questions which are very important for your examination and complete understanding of the topic. These questions will helpful for your PG examination. These questions are prescribed by the competency based curriculum of Medical Council of India. Students should focus on these questions, and these are the questions are common questions for the examinations, and this question is a very important question, essay question. And blood supply of the thyroid gland is also very important, and clinically the blood supply of the thyroid gland is important. Thank you all of you for watching my video. Thank you.